your child for the world. Hello everyone, it's me, your parenting coach, Mma Okoye. Welcome to my channel at Parenting Issues. Mma Okoye is a guidance counselor, a parenting coach, and a teens coach. I'm also an early childhood educator. Okay, today on Parenting Issues on YouTube, we are going to look at preparing your child for the world. Have you ever sat down to analyze how the world is going, how it was during our own time, and how it has been moving on? Have you ever sat down to think about the numerous changes, the evolution in the world? A lot has changed. Just one decade. In fact, in just few years, a lot changed and a lot is still changing. So now, how are you raising your child? Are you preparing your child for this ever-evolving world? Remember, you are a mentor, a coach, a guide, as long as these children are concerned. Life is not all about learning how to read and write. Learning how to read and write is like the basic. So you need to let your children learn other skills that will help that child cope in this ever-evolving world. Your child needs to learn skills like digital literacy. This is one of the skills many parents are beginning to give their children. Now, apart from digital literacy, your child needs to learn effective communication skill. Your child needs to learn emotional intelligence as a skill. Your child needs to learn leadership skill, social skill. Your child also needs to have problem-solving skill, analytical skill, being able to weigh situations, analyze. Your child needs to learn decision making as a skill. A whole lot of skills you need to give to your child. And remember, these cannot all be learned in the four walls of the university. So you need to be intentional. Teach your child these skills if you ever want your child to succeed in this world. Your house is too small to raise that child who is going out there to face these challenges of the world. Let me take just few of the skills. I'm not going to take all of them because I always don't like my videos to be too long. So I'm going to look at the very important ones. Not that it's very important. All of them are important, but let me just take few and analyze them. Then maybe if time permits, I may do another video for subsequent ones. But then let me go with few today. Let me start with communication skill. It's a skill that your child needs. Before you think of teaching your child communication as a skill, you as a parent, you need to have communication as a skill. Yes, I'm talking to you. Do you have communication as a skill? Now, when you have communication as a skill, you'll be able to communicate effectively with your children. You're able to listen without judging. You will be able to put yourself in your speaker's shoes when you are listening to anybody, including your child. You'll be able to have empathy. Put yourself in the shoes of whoever that is talking to you. You'll be able to have active listening skill. You'll be able to learn to listen. When you do this, your children will pick them from you. And you'll be able to correct when they're not getting it well. You'll be able to teach your children that they need to learn to speak out. They need to learn to speak out on things they are not comfortable with. Your child needs to learn how to be clear, plain, and straightforward in expressing himself or herself. You can see how I'm talking to you in a very simple language that everybody will understand. You don't need to be so ambiguous communicating to impress. No, you communicate to impact, you talk to communicate. Let me put it that way. So, now, you also need to teach your child emotional intelligence. This is very, very important. A lot of people have lost their job, messed up interviews, messed up relationships because they do not have emotional intelligence. Now, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is a skill everybody needs. Even you as a parent, you need it. It's all about managing your emotions, understanding your emotions and that of others. It's about developing self-awareness, knowing much about yourself, your likes, your dislikes, what triggers you, your strengths and your weaknesses, the things that can make you perform better and the things that can weaken you. That's emotional intelligence. It's about empathy. When you have empathy, you'll be able to put yourself in other people's shoes. Now, no matter how wealthy you are, how successful you are, when you have emotional intelligence, you will not trample on others. You will always think about the good of your neighbors. You will not do things like, for example, some people may come out naked and they will say, it's my body, it's my choice. Some people will post nasty things on social media and say, it's my phone, it's my data. If you have emotional intelligence, you will not be doing that, because you will consider the effect of that on other people. That's what emotional intelligence is all about. Now, what you post on social media can destroy you, can make you great, can mar you. So when your child learns about emotional intelligence, your child will know what to say, at what point, what to post, the brand he or she needs to project out there for people to see. He needs to know what to post on social media, how to talk to people, how to get what he or she wants, how to enter an organization, negotiate that business deal, negotiate work, and all that. Remember, I said preparing your child for the world. Now, the next is problem solving skill and analytical skill. Now, this is very, very important. It's an important skill you need to give to your child. Let me start with the most simplest thing we do at home, the homework. Because some people may be like, Ma, you're speaking so much grammar. How can I prepare my child for all this? How do I teach this? Let me use something we all do our children's homework. As long as your child is going to school, as young as 1 year, 2 years, they are going to school, they are coming back with homework. I'm going to analyze this with homework. But before I go into that, if you have been watching, you've not subscribed to this channel, you are not doing well. So you need to subscribe so that you will always get notifications whenever I post videos. Then if you've not liked, please pause now, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and start dropping your comments on the comment section, because I'll be glad to read from you. I'm also open for virtual counseling sessions. So if any of these skills I mentioned is lacking in your life, in your child's life, and you really want your child to have these skills, you can drop your comment on the comment section. I will reach out to you and we talk about it. I give one-on-one session to people virtually, for people who are far, and physically for those who are close to me. But if you're far, we can have virtual sessions and you will get everything you need to do there. We'll follow you. It's going to be like a therapy. Okay, now having said that, let me continue. Problem solving skills and analytical skills. So now I said I'm going to use something we always do in our house. I said the homework. Are you aware that you can use the homework to teach your child independence, problem-solving skill, critical thinking skill, and analytical skill? Are you aware of that? Let me explain this. This is going to be the last skill I'll talk about, because my video is already getting long and I don't always like to make it too long. So now the homework. When your child gets a homework, don't start shouting, oh, this homework is too much, it's too big, this child cannot do this. Oh, what's wrong with all these teachers? They're giving them homework they've not taught, blah, 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 blah. No, don't do that. Once you say that in front of your child can no longer think of how to do that homework. So no matter how difficult you think that homework is, no matter how bogus that homework seems to be, once your child gets that homework, tell your child, can you try solving it? Your child will be like, Mommy, I cannot. It's difficult. Is this, is that? Tell the child, please try solving this. Baby, prince, princess, can you start solving this? Can you try solving this? You have encouraged that child to think. You have encouraged independence. You have encouraged analytical skill. So by the time the child looks at that homework, the child thinks of how to proffer solution to it, and the child starts doing something. Now, you are not looking at whether the child is getting it right or wrong. You are looking at the ability to think out solution to that problem. That is problem solving skill. You are looking at the ability to think out way out of that problem. That is critical thinking, problem solving, and analytical thinking skill. So when your child goes through in most cases, the child may get it right. Sometimes the child may not get it right. So whether the child gets it right or did not get it right, give that child a thumbs up. Appreciate the effort. You are not looking at the result, you are looking at the process. Process is very, very important. You are looking at process. So appreciate the child for the process. It will encourage that child to put in more effort, think deeper, think more. So you appreciate the child. You say, oh, you got it right at this point, you got it right up to this point, or from the beginning you would have done this instead of this. Do not shout, because the child has tried solving and did not get it right. When you are trying to teach, the child will flow easily and faster, and you have sparked up something in that child. So by the time you do this all through the term, you must have succeeded in teaching your child critical thinking skill, analytical skills, and problem solving skill. So I just use the homework. Same with house chores. You tell your child to mop the floor and the child be like, Mommy, I cannot mop that. You say, no, start. When the child starts, appreciate the process and do not look at the end result. When the child did not get it right, you teach the child how to get it right. So in summary, I talked about communication skill, problem solving skill, critical thinking skill, and analytical thinking skill. I talked about emotional intelligence. These are skills you need to give your child. And I want to wrap up with digital literacy. So your child should learn a whole lot about the digital space. A lot of private schools have one or two things they do to give these children digital literacy. So you can enroll your child in different programs, online, offline, free, paid. So many programs are going out there for the children. So let your children be part of it. Encourage your children to volunteer. Volunteering teaches children social skills. It teaches children how to be with adults, how to be with other people, comport themselves, coordinate, and behave well. So encourage them to volunteer, at least in one activity, maybe in the religious house or in the school. Encourage them to be in clubs. It helps them to learn a lot. There are many things they should learn outside learning how to read and write. So when you do this, you will be helping your child, preparing your child for the world. You don't prepare someone for the world and you are doing everything for that child. You don't prepare someone for the world and you are thinking for that child. Remember, the world is highly challenging. The world is not easy. The world is rough. So you don't prepare someone who is going to face that tough world in a petty way. You are petting that child. You are carrying that child like an egg. Meanwhile, you are preparing that child to face the storm of the world. So your child needs to be prepared, needs to be strong, independent, resilient to weather the storm the world will throw at the child. The world is faced with so many challenges. Your child needs to be prepared to face these challenges. Otherwise, you will be raising a child who is so weak, who cannot stand challenges, who cannot think out ways out of his or her problems, who will always wait for somebody to do things for him or her or think for him or her. This is where I'll wrap it up on today's video. Continue to be a very good parent, raise up these children very well, nurture them very well, and you will be resting in your old age. See you in my next video. Cheers.
Thank you.